Micah from Capture King Gaming here with the last part of the walkthrough for Battlefield 1 Part 8. This video contains the final story, Nothing is Written. Traditionally, when I finish a game, I'll have the credits roll at the end and give a brief summation of my thoughts and feelings. The credits for Battlefield 1 are either too long or they run in a loop because when recording them, they just lasted for much longer than I was comfortable putting in the video. So I'm just going to leave them out and hope that what I've stated over these videos gives you an idea of how I felt about this game.
In the deserts of Arabia, an insurgency war was raging years before I got to France. Tribes of Bedouins had united to fight a war that was very different from the one we fought in the trenches. Using small mobile units, they challenged the might of an empire, and they were rallied around the ideas of a single, influential warrior. Ideas of freedom and change.
The Arabian Desert, a vast ocean of drifting sands and scorched, sun-baked rocks. Beneath these endless dunes, oil, the lifeblood of our new mechanical century. For more than 400 years, the Ottoman Empire has ruled these lands, controlling all that's to be found here. But the Ottomans do not rule unopposed. Small bands of Bedouin rebels have united to overthrow the empire. They strike without warning and then vanish into the desert. Fighting alongside them is a lone British officer whose exploits have earned him wide renown. The world has taken to calling this man Lawrence of Arabia. In the desert, you rely on good planning, but you also hope for a dash of luck. And luck was with us when we learned of a recently derailed Ottoman train carrying a most interesting piece of cargo. A small patrol had joined the Ottomans who survived the crash. Together, they guarded the wreckage and waited for reinforcements.
I think the binoculars are a consolation prize because you start off with no firearm.
A lone fighter has just one advantage over a large enemy force. A lone fighter can move unseen.
So seeing as I had no firearm, I was trying my best to get around to the other side of the train car to see if I could get in stealthily and not have to deal with anybody, but then I saw the armory on my mini-map, so gear up for a shootout. I love the Desert Storm just wasn't there in the background, like, oh, it's the desert, it's a storm, you know, all the way over there. No, it was actually coming towards us and then hits us. It helps me because it's reduced visibility for the enemy.
Come out! It's over. Well, you did not think we would be fast enough to catch you here, did you? Lawrence of Arabia.
Actually, I was rather depending on it.
Lawrence. Well, this is very clever. Now the hunter becomes the hunted. So who might you be? How enchanting you are, my dear.
Ahmed.
I'll show you enchanting. If it weren't for you, I'd be free.
Free, is it? You'll be free when you're dead. And I'm happy to tell you, the Empire intends to grant you all this freedom very soon. Even now, an engine of destruction scours this desert, obliterating your allies, your families, your homes. Soon there will be nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide. Soon all that you know, and all that you love, will be ashes. You will all be free to die. Oh. Ah, you animal!
Zara.
Oh.
Now, I understand that you would like nothing more than to strip the flesh from that man's feet and send him off into the desert naked to die. But think about it.
You're right.
I'm sorry. My friend here, she can be a little brusque.
You're going to tell me how to lie to your train, so we can lure it into a trap and destroy it.
Impossible. To even begin to talk to that train, you would need an entire book of communication codes.
Oh, like this one, you mean?
You can never stop the progress of machines. One day, the whole world will take your lands and the precious black gold beneath its sands.
We shall see, my friend.
Of course, obtaining the codebook was not enough. To destroy this Iron Dragon, this Canavar, as the Ottomans had named it, we had to send it 3 encrypted messages telling it to stand down. There were Ottoman outposts scattered along the railroad tracks. The commanders there carried high-priority message capsules. We had to use those to send our orders. Infiltrating the village wouldn't be easy. A full detachment of Ottoman soldiers had occupied it. The Ottomans had chosen an isolated location for their desert outpost. It seemed lightly defended. It was also well stocked with arms and equipment. The ancient ruins were all that remained of a civilization now lost to time. The Ottoman Empire brought in the modern world with a host of armored vehicles and field guns. 3 commanders to eliminate, 3 personal message capsules to be stolen, and then sent with our false orders. How Zara tackled this dangerous and audacious mission was up to her.
Similar to the mission where the tank operator had to retrieve the spark plugs, you can complete these objectives in any order you want. So you can go to any of the 3 locations and then proceed on as you want. I do left to right, it's just something I normally do. Whatever's the leftmost destination, and then just go from there. So once again, I've been stripped of my binoculars. I wasn't deemed worthy of them. I'll try to earn them back at a later date, but for now I can just point at people and have them spotted.
Mıntıkayı iyice teftiş eyleyin. Akabinde gidelim. Bora bırakın. O kadar çok asabım bozuluyor. İvedilikle çıkmayın.
That's the thing that annoys me the most about the fact that for whatever reason I can't use the binoculars. One, I have to crouch everywhere because I don't know where the enemies are, so I don't know how close I am to alerting someone if I walk normally, like fully erect and stood up. And on top of that, when I shoot even a silenced weapon, I don't know how close someone is to hearing it.
Teslim olursan sana kimse dokunmayacak. Nereye kadar saklanacaksın? Gebereceksin işte. Kabul et.
Unfortunately, there
A
is
single
no
order wouldn't be
pigeon
enough.
gameplay in
Ottoman
this
protocol
story.
required the message to
Well,
be
what I just
received
did
in
is exactly what I have to do with the other
before
two
the train would
locations. I have to
acknowledge it
kill the
as due.
commander, retrieve their satchel, which is on their body, and will drop once I kill them. Then use the nearby pigeon to send the message. So now I get to use this small personal tank, light tank if you want to call it. It really helps with the travel time because it goes a little bit faster than I can walk or run, I think. And then obviously it's heavily armored and I get to shoot people with a cannon, which is always fun. I'm thinking the same thing you're thinking. This objective is a long way away. This Battlefield, big maps. That's really all I can say. So I killed the commander, but what I'm trying to do is take care of everyone else, or at least thin numbers, because I don't want to leave my tank and then have an enemy commandeering. On top of that, I have a tank. Why not take advantage of it and take everybody out? So what I can't do is repair the tank. I'm not sure if that's because I didn't find a wrench or just because this character is incapable of repairing vehicles. But I do wonder what would happen if I found a wrench on the map, like I did in the previous mission in this story. I try to create a pathway for this tank to get in, but this game is hell-bent on not letting me drive my tank into this small little compound. So right here I can't find the stairs or a ladder, so I'm afraid that with the tank I blew up the only way to get up top. Then I see the ladder right here. And what do you know, the thing that I feared happened, an enemy took over the tank. And now even if I somehow got them to exit the tank is on fire. Oh wait, I have a wrench. Or hammer wrench. I wonder. Too late now. But yeah, that's the reason I was trying to make the ramp to get his compound. That way I could be close as possible to the tank and get in it quickly. But I wasn't able to, unfortunately.
Trust in Zarya's capabilities, but I had complete confidence that she
But everyone knows a horse is better than a tank anyways. I mean, you have to feed it. It has no weapons, no extra armor. Okay, I don't know what point I was trying to make. So I was so mad about my tank being taken in the exact manner I knew would happen that I didn't care about stealth in this one. I want to kill everybody in this village. Once I killed everyone in this village, then in my mind, I cover the entire village in gasoline, throw a match, and say, "Thanks for the memories." And I walk away, slowly.
Hemen teslim ol, yoksa seni geberteceğim kafir. Saklanarak nereye?
Although you see, the message had already been sent, my dear. Not the message you would have wanted. Lawrence was such a good host. It almost seemed rude to escape. I made sure to note the location of Lawrence's camp, of course.
I really want to know how they let this man escape. Even if they had other prisoners, he's definitely a priority. How could you let that happen? You bind someone's feet and hands. How do they...
But
it upsets me.
I told it exactly where to attack. The beast has your scent, my dear. And it's coming to slaughter you and your little band of rebels. First, the firestorm from the cannon. Then, up close with the troops to slaughter any survivors. The legend of Lawrence of Arabia dies tonight.
Shouldn't monologue. I mean, that's basic for a villain.
You slipped away just in time. Tilkiji was a fool to think we'd ever stay after he escaped.
The carnival won't stop hunting us.
No, it won't. Let me think.
The train's coming a long way. So it'll have to stop to take on water. That's where we strike.
Agreed. I'll deal with any sentries, then rig explosives on the track.
Yes, and I'll rally our fighters.
When I blow the lines, the train will be trapped. So when you hear the blast, you need to attack them with everything you have.
It's good. But you know that there's a chance the men may not come. You may set off those explosives and find you're out there all alone. You know that.
I guess I won't know either way until I set it off.
Man makes plans, and God laughs. As it turned out, the small town where we would ambush the train had a significant enemy presence. Those troops would have to be dealt with before the explosives could be set.
So for this mission, I have to destroy these 3 trucks. The thing is, you start off with nothing that's capable of doing that, so you need to find ways of doing that on the map. Dynamite, anti-tank weapons, other explosives. You don't necessarily have to do this in a stealth manner, but I thought it might be easier if I do so. So, as best as I can, I try to stay undetected.
Yüzbaşı beni sevmiyor. Bir elin nesi var, 2 elin sesi var. Ben o komutanın ta! İnşallah. Atlatacağız inşallah.
Here's something that annoys me about this game. You can't place explosives for some reason. Dynamite and such, you can't just place it somewhere. You have to throw it. The sound of me throwing an explosive, the enemy heard. I'm not saying it's impossible, but no. Just no.
Those troops in the village had to be dealt with before we could push on with our plan to destroy the train.
So lucky for me, I found dynamite and I found an anti-tank weapon. And I have a decent sniper, I guess you can call this weapon. So because I'm choosing to do this in a stealth manner, I don't blow up the first charge that I place. I'm trying to wait to place all the charges and then detonate them at once.
Hudutlar fazla engin, ondan olur. Her şey yolunda mı? Olmak lazım gelir. Yoksa sonumuz romanlara benzer. Şşş! İşitecekler. Zihninden neler geçiyor ya? Boş ver. Burada ne lan? Baktığına baktıklarını yiyorlar.
olsun. Teslim olursan yaşarsın. Ben seni korurum. Korunaklı ilerleyin. Kaçmasına müsaade etmeyin.
Siktir! Gördün mü? Mıntıkada düşman mevcut. Allah! Yardım eyle!
Bak seni ne kadar çok ararsam o kadar asabım bozuluyor.
Pes et birader! Kılına zarar gelmeyecek.
So now the thing is, was the stealth necessary? Because now I have to clear the enemies out anyways. I don't know. I'm not sure if you do it loud, if they call for reinforcements or not. I just know this is the way I did it. And seeing as I don't really put myself in too much danger, and it wasn't that difficult to do it in a stealth manner, I don't mind having done it. It's not like it took that much extra effort.
Yan cephesini sen!
Şurada, önümde! Zorlayın onu! Müdafaa edeceğim!
So where I am is a good vantage point. Its only drawback being that it has multiple access routes to the roof, so there's multiple ladders I can get up there, so I had to cover each of those sides. And then I didn't know they had a mortar or a predecessor to the mortar. I'm not sure if the mortars themselves were invented back then. Once again, I have basically no historical knowledge of World War I. But because I've been forced off the roof now, I have to hunt them in the streets.
Şimdi seni geberteceğim.
Ortaya çıkarsan seni derhal bitireceğim.
Once Zara secured the town, the trap could be set for the arriving train.
Okay, let me tell you about this mission. I hate this mission. This part of this mission, this part of this story is my least favorite section in this entire game. But I found a way to make it easier. So they tell you to use these guns here, these artillery guns, to do damage to the train. And if you focus on one section, you'll do more damage or disable its weaponry, maybe. That's a trap. Don't go for that, okay? You can use it initially like I just did right now, but if you stand at that gun and wait for it to reload, the train will hone in on your position and will drop missiles on you, which are instant death. After many attempts, trial and error, I died at least, I would say at least 7 times doing this mission, trying to do it the way it tells you to. I realized that the anti-tank gun I have is more than enough as long as you target some of its critical spots. This is not a traditional boss battle where he has glowing red orbs that show where you're supposed to hit. Just hit the parts that are shooting at you. If you hit the guns, it at least disables those. Not the mortars or the missiles that shoot, but the quote-unquote regular guns that shoot at you. You do enough damage with this anti-tank gun, especially if you focus on a few sections at a time. Just do a shot and relocate. Shot and relocate. You can see right there, I just disabled another one of those turrets. And as long as you stay on the move, it will fire those shots, but it won't hit you because you'll be moving. But I'm sure there's people that were able to use the guns properly, but I got it down to maybe a half health or a third of its health, but no matter what, those missiles always hit me. Even though I shot from one place, moved to a different gun and shot, it still always hit me. And you can see this gun is doing significant damage. All you have to do is go prone, shoot it, relocate. You can reload on the run. And on top of that, this gun, I think it does almost the same amount of damage as the stationary guns. Even if it doesn't, it's really minimal, the difference. The reloading is much shorter for the gun I'm using that I'm running around with, because this gun, the stationary one, has to be hand cranked and the round is large and it just takes a long time. So in that amount of time, the tank will probably find you, the train will find you and shoot at you. Right now at the end I get a little cocky and start using the stationary guns, but I don't reload them. I just use them one and done and run away. It was only because I couldn't get a line of sight. That's the only thing. Because you have the high ground sort of, it's hard to get a line of sight, weirdly enough, because you have to be prone. If you could be crouched, that'd be different, but you have to be prone and the land is uneven, the terrain. So to find a shot is kind of difficult. There you go. Ooh, you don't understand the satisfaction I had when I finally landed that killing shot on this train.
Vengeance can be a sweet or bitter brew. How did you find it, Zara?
And you're right, we do need to think bigger, act bigger. Maybe even the Suez Canal. Tell me, what do you know about battleships?
And that was the conclusion of Battlefield 1. This is Micah from Capture King Gaming saying, thanks for watching. Please show some class, comment, like, and share, subscribe.